Hello, John. This is Linda. I'm sitting here with David. It's March the 16th. Spring is coming quickly here in Lebanon, and it seems like the perfect evening to sit down and visit with you for a little while. Of course, we often think about our visits in Brussels, and I just wish that in some way we could have a part of these now. So we thought we'd try it with the tape. At least we can speak with you, and we know that you're listening in the way that you can listen so very well. And, well, at least it's part of a conversation.
We're really hoping, John, that you'll get this tape by Easter, because we were happy to hear that the Venks will be coming to see you, and we hope that they, will still be coming at Easter. And please tell them hello in any language that comes to you, and tell them to tell the IO family and their children. We really, the pictures that we have of them, will always remember them, and the time that we spent in Lambuzar with them and with you.
It would be marvelous if it just so happens that they came to your home for Easter vacation. Then perhaps they could listen to some of this tape. I don't know. Of course, difficult to understand, but it's meant for them too, if they could possibly hear it. Life is still very good here. Today is a typical Sunday. We woke up at a late 8 o'clock or late around till about 8:30 and went down for our breakfast. On Sundays we have a special treat, white bread and honey. Went to church, the German service, and then after church took a trip to the Litani. Though it's very common, we just hop in the car with a few other of the teachers here and take a drive, look at the mountains, enjoy the sunshine. As a matter of fact, today we went to visit the dam project. It was very, very interesting, very impressive. So then we came home for lunch and had spent the afternoon watching one of the football games here with the boys. Visited a while. Oh, we must visit here 4 hours every day at least. There's not that much else to do, so we enjoy it very much. The people here are excellent. The German people and the Arabic people. We have one lady from Switzerland, and then the three of us Americans. And in some ways, you can say that we're trapped here, But that just makes us all think of various means to keep each other happy. And the country is lovely, and the people here welcome strangers, welcome us, and so we quickly feel at home.
About a month ago, we bought a car. Yeah, Linda said hurrah. That's a pity. We bought an old Volkswagen 61, and it really looked like it was in pretty good condition. For the price that we paid, we only paid about 1,400 pounds, which is about 300 or $400. But we didn't know that there was a crack in the motor block, and so now the car for the last 3 weeks has been in the workshop, and we're getting a completely new motor for it, which will cost about another $200. But we're really happy with it. We will be after we see it running again, because it means that, like in the afternoon after we finish classes at 3 o'clock, if the sun is shining like it usually is these days, we can go and take a drive wherever we want to, go and pick many of the wildflowers that are growing now in the springtime already, and maybe go up to the snow in the mountains, and just kind of, see our part of the country here.
But if you can picture our situation, we have this car with a new motor, and we have to break it in. That means driving it slowly, carefully, and on flat land. Well, to the right of us we have the Lebanon mountains. We're on them. We can't go anywhere without going up. To the left of us we have the Ante-Lebanon mountains, and we have maybe 5 kilometers between the two, and then the country of Lebanon, which is the only territory that we can drive on, is 100 kilometers long. So we have this 5 by 100 kilometers square of flatland, and we have to drive 1,000 kilometers on flatland. So we're going to know this valley backwards and forwards. But at least after that we'll have a good car, we hope.
I don't know if Linda told you in any of her letters about our Jaru, our little puppy dog. He's really a charming little fellow. Spoke, we're not sure exactly what language, but he just looked like a little bear cub or something when we got him. Had this kind of fluffy hair all over his body, and was just irresistible. So we brought him home with us and kept him here in our 2-room apartment for about 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. And this little bear cub turned out to be a bear, if you can believe it. He was precious when he was small, and we enjoyed we treated him like a child. He was a substitute, I think, for us. Gave him baths. He smelled like hair shampoo, and all the teachers would come over to visit him, etc., etc. And then when he became a little larger, we'd take him outside, and he had approximately 80 friends among the boy students. They would always want to know, Wayne Jaro, where is Jaro? And then he became too big for the 2-room apartment. Every time we left, we'd return to find all the things that he could reach on the floor, and various other troubles that he could make for us. So we finally had to find another home for him. We went first to some of the Bedouin people. These are people much like gypsies. They roam the countryside, they pitch their tent wherever they can, and they work in the fields for the Lebanese people. Well, David asked the one Bedouin in Arabic, Bidhub Jaru, and the man said, La, absolutely not. He said, just look around, we have about 9 or 10 of these dogs. And we did look around, and these dogs were fierce. Our poor Jaru would have been eaten by them, I'm sure, even though he was one of their kind. But then we were able to find a farmer who drove up on a tractor. And he said, fine, he would like to have the dog. He wanted to have a dog on his farm. So he took our Jaru. And it's really precious because even now the boys and families 1 and 2 come to us and say, again, Wayne Jaru. And we have to explain Jaru Raya ala Ublias and Al Beit Mniach. In other words, that he went to Kublias and that he has a good home there, inshallah, we hope. So, that's the story of our Jaru.
You may have noticed that we are, trying to learn a little bit of Arabic. Mostly phrases right now, and greetings, and a few key words. But we'll kind of give you a little example here.
What example?
Leish.
Leish la. Marhaba, ahlan wa sahlan.
Hey, alhamdulillah. Kif hak?
Mabsuta, alhamdulillah. Wa anta?
نفس الشيء. وين رايح؟
رايح على بيروت.
شو من مين؟
من انتي.
Good. Yeah.
We know more than this, but it takes a little time to.
بدك لسه؟
لسه?
A story? ممكن. Okay. مرة كان في بنت اسمها ليلى. في يوم قالت لها يما إما معروف تعال هون خدي هالكعكة على ستك بس ما تتعوي أحسن ما يجي الديب Deep is a wolf ياكلك. Could you figure out what story that was, John? Huh? That was the beginning of the story of Little Red Coat, and how her mother asked her to take some cakes to her grandmother, but to be careful, not to go and to play in the woods because the wolf would eat her. That's pretty much the extent of my Arabic, except for a few isolated words here and there.
But we're enjoying picking up whatever words we can. We're not forced to learn the language because most of the people here at the school speak English, at least all of the teachers do. And in fact, the German teachers all speak English, so we actually use Arabic even more than the German. We haven't used many of the phrases that we knew in Brussels. They turned out to be the classical Arabic, and even though some of the people here can understand them, if you use them, they will quickly attempt to teach you the common language. There's very much a distinction between the classical and the common language, and people don't like to speak the classical. They don't feel comfortable with it. So when we'd come forth with our one or two phrases, I guess they felt like, well, if we could learn those few phrases in classical, then we could quickly learn the common language. So
we're kind of wondering about how your languages are coming, how your Spanish or Italian or Greek or Turkish or what your latest language is. Whether you in your job now you're using English or French or German, whatever languages you're using now.
We haven't actually heard what work you're doing, whether you have gone back to your original job with translation, news translation and that, or whether you have another job. We're just wondering how your life is coming there and going, wondering if you're planning any trips.
Now, please turn your tape recorder to a higher speed. The party is picking up here. Eddie has come back from rehearsal, and as you can hear, the organ is in the house, and you're going to get a bit of good old USA, whatever you call it nowadays, rock and roll. No, it's way past that. All right, it's Eddie Brunges, your nephew of about 14, with his organ at our home. So don't forget to change speed.
All right, Linda, this is Ed again, and remember that song, Fire Me Up, Baby? Well, you just about had it right, but it's Light My Fire, and I'm going to play it on the organ for you right now so you can hear what it sounds like, okay? Okay.
Now we must get the tape recorder off of the table. The afternoon has passed. It is 10 minutes after 4. Grandma Brunges is whipping up a cornbread batter here. We still had some sausage that we brought from the Salem sausage dinner, which was a big success, incidentally. And so the afternoon has gone, and with a very pleasant visit with all of us together and feeling almost as though you too were here. Maybe you can feel now as if you were for a bit of visiting.
Who's that I see walking in these woods? Why, it's Little Red Riding Hood.
Then
good? I bet you can even guess who the wolf was. Well, my good old sister, Deborah Lynn.
I was the wolf. Oh!
See what I mean? She even acts like a perfect wolf there, doesn't she? Okay, yeah, the mom said that's enough.
Recording now the beginning of side 2, tape to Linda and Dave at the Schneller School, Kirbet, Kanafar, Lebanon. Side 1 was recorded first, so if you hear this first, flip it over and try the other side. This is Sunday noon. Mom is fixing lunch. We were lazy and didn't go to church this morning. We did have a real fine time last night, and therefore, I suppose, enjoyed our sleep a little more this morning. We're now thinking about going to the German service, which we have here at 5 o'clock, and maybe it will be something like your service is at Schneller's. Our outing last night was with Ron and Martha Roberts, Martha who works with Mother. They had planned an evening for us. We went to a little Italian restaurant way down by the Broadway Loop, and we had determined to have an inexpensive evening, but a long one. So about 6 o'clock we stopped at their place for a cocktail and then drove to South Broadway, had a real fine steak dinner, and headed all the way back to University City, to the Varsity Theater, where Rachel and Sweet November were playing in a double feature. Both were real good, and all together we had a real enjoyable evening. This little place on Broadway was called Kiko's, I think, and we ordered a bottle of wine, which they brought out with a bit of a flourish, poured out a bit for me to taste, and after my okay, they said, "All right, now we'll pour some for Mother." So evidently they figured that this was perhaps you and Linda with us, and this was something that a bit of a shock to Mother, that they could recognize her as not being just one of the girls. The wine turned out real good. It was a white French wine, and in a real French wine bottle, kind of a bottle, which I brought home for my new wine. Incidentally, Dave, to have a taste of my wine. This wild cherry has a flavor all its own. We've enjoyed serving it to everybody that comes. Sent a little bottle home with Joel, and Ron and Muriel were here for dinner last Friday night, I guess, Saturday night. Had a real nice time with them. They enjoyed the wine. 2 gallons actually turned out real good, and there would be plenty for some for you, but I guess we can't ship it to Lebanon. I'm sure sounds like you get real good wine there. I guess we'll have to try our wine hot like you serve it at your parties. That sounds good after an evening of caroling and so forth.
For time number 2, I'll begin this portion of the tape. Daddy just blew my whole speech a few minutes ago, and it was quite well. Now I don't know whether I'll do as well. Let's see. We started out with the rains came and the snow fell and the tape arrived at last. We certainly have been waiting a long time to hear the words that we have just listened to today. This is the 7th of January. It's about 8:30 in the evening. We are at Mother Brown's home. We have just listened to both sides of the tape, and I guess you'd say it's been kind of a sentimental evening.
So here we are at the end of your tape, and as you can see, we were listening. We listened to Silent Night, and we'll give you the playback of an unrehearsed, unbeknown recording that happened after recording your tape on a tape for the Browns.
What would you like to hear your students say? They've been studying for 6 weeks now. I like to hear from them any Arabic word.
That's very swell. But they were singing Silent Night in all 3 languages at one time. Oh, yeah. Well, we didn't catch that at first. I thought they were going to sing it 3 times, but no. But the first time we thought it was all Arabic, and then as we hear now, though, they're all 3 languages. Yeah. Yeah, but I couldn't pick out the English very well. Well, just that very last.
Reaching Heavenly
Reaching Heavenly Peace. Yeah, that's the only one. Well, I heard it though one other time down the way.
Well, we're done.
Oh my God.
So you can see, we too can make a lot of noise, even if it's only the little 3 of us.
Yeah, and they didn't come. Which pictures? Oh yes. It just dawned on me that my pictures, which I had taken last Friday night for my passport pictures, didn't come today. So perhaps they will come soon. It was really fun tonight to hear both sides of the tape. And even though you said that it wasn't professional, we have really enjoyed all of it very much, even down to how you take a shower and how much soap you use and how dirty you must be. Yeah. How much fun it must be not to have to take any more showers than that. I hope by now you have the tape that we sent of our Christmas Eve with the kids. It should give you a little bit of news about what we did. And in the meantime, you'll get this one, and it'll tell you more from the family. We've decided this making a tape is really a chore, and what you're going to receive is far from being professional. When you try to record without being plugged in, it's for sure. You don't know exactly what you're doing. I just paused there because we heard a very strong clap of thunder. And Mother Brown said she thought she saw lightning through the window. We had a snowstorm yesterday where it didn't put a lot of snow on the ground. We had less than 2 inches. The roads were very slick and very hazardous. We were pleased to get to work and home from work with all fenders intact. Penny also heard the thunder and saw the lightning, and she's sitting under the drapes in the dining room panting and scared half to death. You know how she gets. This is twice at Mother Brown's house in 2 days. I think we're doing right well. We enjoyed the pork and sauerkraut dinner at Salem Church yesterday, also the church service. We came over here then and called Selim in Pennsylvania, all of us talking to him. It was the first time that Mother Brown or I had gotten to make our acquaintance, and we enjoyed talking to him very much. Of course, the call was prompted a little bit by not having received the tape and not having received an answer to the letter that I had written him. But his first comment to Daddy was, "Oh, I mailed it. Did you get it yet?" He had just mailed it on Wednesday, and of course today when we got home, there it was. And it certainly was exciting to receive. We're going to be very, very anxious to have our belated Christmas, if and when it comes. You better keep your insurance papers, though, because so far, nothing has arrived. Dad just reminded me that actually we've not been too concerned since there has been a dock strike in New York, and many machines and many shipments from Europe are not getting through at this time. So possibly that's where the Christmas package is being held up. It'll be great when it comes. I wrote you that I am getting the wheels turning about thinking of coming over. And I am getting kind of excited about it now that I've gone this far. I want to go down in a day or two to apply for my passport, and then I guess I'll start with shots and vaccination. And I'll keep you posted as to how it's coming along. Also, let me know how things are doing in Lebanon, just in case maybe I better stay at home.
Hey, Dave. Hello, Dave and Linda. This is Aunt Alice. We enjoyed listening to your tapes very much, and the singing and music was most interesting. We enjoyed hearing about the organ, and especially could imagine the boy doing the pumping. Today is February 2nd, Groundhog Day, and it is very cloudy and raining, as has been the last few days. The time is passing by very quickly. I've enrolled for a 3-night school this coming spring term that should keep me out of mischief. We had something most interesting in the fall term over at the library. They are working with Afro-American relations, and we had a 12-week study with one of the teachers that had taken a course in African history during the summer. And I was interested in your audio-visual type for your tapes. They're going into that more and more over at school, too. And they set aside one afternoon for a whole hour each week. And they have different tapes and pictures for the children. And they are able to pick and choose as to what they're interested in. Oh, by the way, Linda, we want to wish you happy birthday, and also happy Valentine's Day to both of you.
So we had a very delicious dinner over here at your folks, Linda, and listened to the tape, which we enjoyed very much. I'm going to go get Ed. He's at combo practice now. They've been played at a dance. Alice and I chaperoned the last Friday night and this Saturday night, and this coming Friday night we will chaperone at the Steger Junior High dance. We enjoyed it very much. It sounded real good. They had played at Glendale. They had invited Mount Calvary and Kirkwood young people. They had real good attendance there, and the children all had a lot of fun. Our choir has been singing about every Sunday at the church. It is a SEM student that is leading us now and is very good at it. Quite comical, but we are learning a lot of music through him. He is a very good organist, too.
Hi, Dave and Linda. This is Debbie. And I wanted to tell you, if you had learned Arabic, that you could come back and teach me some of it. And my music teacher in school is a Negro, and she teaches us a lot of Negro spirituals, so we learn a lot of that kind of music. Our Girl Scout trip went on a train to the Capitol, and we saw Governor Hearns. And we really liked to see him, but he didn't have much time to talk to us. And it was the first train ride for me and a lot of other girls, and it was really exciting. There was a lot of girls, 33 girls, 2 boys went extra, and a lot of parents. So, I guess I'll say goodbye.
Hi, Dave and Linda. It was really terrific to hear your voice, but of course it made a few tears come to our eyes to hear you but that was because we were happy. Yeah, it's kind of hard just to talk to the tape like Linda was saying. It's not like just being there in person. We do hear from Ronald about once a week. He gets a little lonesome and gets on his telephone and calls us. I don't know how big his phone bills are sometime, but anyway, it's terrific to talk to him. He enjoys his teaching very much, but I think he does get overburdened with some of the Walter League activities, which takes a lot of his time. Instead of he has to do a lot of extra trips that really shouldn't be part of his work, but then that's the way it goes. He just bought a new Volvo sports car, and he's really thrilled about it, so I guess it takes a little of his time shining it all the time. Marilyn was home for the semester break, is enjoying her school very much, and is very active in the Gamma Delta. She has her pin now, and has now been elected to go to the winter retreat at Southern Illinois University for the Gamma Delta, and she has also been nominated for the training the new pledges for the next semester. So we're happy to see her active in this kind of work. Well, I'll turn you over to Aunt Erna now and see what she can add to this.
Dave and Linda, you don't know, but they gave it to the biggest goof you ever seen. I'm no good at tape recorders at all. I even tried to send your birthday card without an address. But I think you'll get it, because I did finally get an address on it. And I did mail it, and I told you almost all the things that I had on my mind in that letter. So I don't have too much left. And then competing with pros on this thing, I'm not so good. If I sound satisfied, that's because of the good dinner that your mother just cooked. Would you believe that it's raining? That's all we've had lately. One day of sunshine, and then it rains again.
Yeah, Dave, I forgot. This is Al again. I forgot to tell you I enjoyed that music, only I wish I could have been right along with my banjo there to help them play that song.
Hello, Linda and Dave. This is Grandma again. I'm still here in St. Louis, and I left home the 4th of November, went to West Palm Beach for a month, and then came to St. Louis. And I'm really enjoying it, but now I'm getting kind of anxious to go home. So we really